Back now on Triad today, and we have a trio of great guys who are going to help us all think healthy because of how athletic they all are. Let's get right to it. On my immediate right, a good friend, David Daggett, of course, attorney with Daggett Shuler, attorneys at law. Next to him is a special guest that he and Griff had brought with them. Scott Wollaston is executive director for Twin City Sports Association, and bringing up the proverbial rear again, Griff Shuler, attorney with Daggett Shuler, attorneys at law. Welcome, guys. Good to see you.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm going to skip over, David, you and Griff for a second. I want to start, Lori, our director, always likes to know who I'm going to start with, but I'm not going to tell her. No, Scott, I'm going to start with you. Tell us about the history of your group.
So our club was incorporated in 1979. It was basically a group of kids in the Winston-Salem area that wanted to play soccer at a higher level. We had a lot of volunteer parents back at that time that got those kids together to play at a competitive level across the state and the region. Really, our club was kind of the impetus to actually form some of the high school teams and the high school leagues that formed out of Winston-Salem.
That's right, because that wasn't a lot of that wasn't going on.
Correct. It was mostly recreation at that time.
Well, what impact have the Twins really had on the community, you think?
Yeah, so I think from a community standpoint, the club has grown in the last 12 years from about 650 kids participating to about 3,000 kids a year. So in terms of youth sport impact and kids being able to participate in soccer, that's certainly grown, and we know that the value that youth sports can teach and the impact it can have on kids. And
you have big plans for the future too, right?
We do. You know, we've built BB&T Sports Park out in Bermuda Run. That facility was built in 2006. We have had roughly an economic impact on the community of about $15 to $16 million a year.
Wow!
Through our events and things that we've brought into the facility, not just from a soccer perspective, but ultimate frisbee and lacrosse events and things like that. And we're getting ready to grow that in the next couple of years.
That's just fantastic. I'm going to go to Griff, and then I'll come to David and talk about the impact of that facility and everything. But Griff, I'm curious because David told me or sent me an email saying that your family has a connection.
Yeah, my daughter has actually played with the Twins organization since she was about 10 years old, and she's now 16 and has played for a number of years and has had a great experience. And I think one of the things that's fantastic about Twins is it's really built on the idea of the kids having fun, having respect, and having character. And she's experienced and has benefited from the coaches and the leadership from Scott and how the whole club organization is built to teach that to the kids. And that's something that's very exciting to David and me.
These guys are both being a little bit modest. First, Griff was a college soccer player. He was an academic All-American.
I didn't know that.
What Scott has done out at the sports park is incredible. And what they have for the future, putting in these turf fields that can be used year-round, are weather-resistant, those sort of things, is going to attract more and bigger out-of-city and out-of-state events, not only for soccer, but for lacrosse, potentially cross-country. It goes on and on and on. And they're doing a wonderful job. As you know, you have a positive impact on children, you have a positive impact on the future of our communities, and they're doing it out there, and it's pretty exciting to see.
That's a great testimonial to you, Scott, and what you're doing, and Griff. I didn't realize that you were star athlete.
Well, Scott was a star at Elon.
How about that? Well, I knew these guys have been kicking me under the table for months. I didn't realize that it was a professional thing. Scott, when will before we lose time, when will the new facility, when will the expansion, when will we be able to see that? And for folks that have never been out there, where is it located exactly?
So it's located in Bermuda Run. You see it as you cross over the Yadkin River into Davie County on I-40. Our plans are to break ground on the expansion and adding the turf fields in August. We're hoping that we can get playing on the fields by early spring of 2018.
All right, I want to put some things up on screen for the folks, and I want to read it out for our radio audience and WSJS as well. To find out more about what Scott's up to, www.twincitysoccer.com is still it, even though you changed the name, but it's still that is the website. And for more information about Daggett Shuler and all they do in the community and how they serve their clients, now you might need them sometime, and you want to check out their website. And I hope you don't need them, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but you help people. And
absolutely.
But we want to keep people safe and healthy and injury-free, too, and that's the purpose of a lot of these segments. DaggettShulerLaw.com is where you go. Guys, I learned so much just sitting here being with you guys. I know you're an athlete, David. Now I've found out about Griff and Scott, and I just admire all three of you. Thanks for what you do.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys. We'll be right back after this.